KNX. Dick's House of Sport, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Coming up next, tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tony Basilio and you. Fired up, focused, and prepared. And for those of you watching me visually, yes, I am in a robe. Yes, I was just getting a shower. Yes, I lost track of time. Yes, this portal stuff is driving me nuts. Yes, I've been on the phone for like 90 minutes today. From the time I woke up to the time that I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing right now, I've been like literally on the phone trying to figure it all out so we can have a kind of a semi-intelligent conversation about this nuttiness. But here's the latest. So Tennessee shot their shot with Ty Simpson, as you know. He announced a few seconds ago that he's going to the NFL. By the way, Watson Brown will be by to help us make sense of this. Sean Sinclair at some point as well, wherever Cinco is. Cinco, get in the room. Cinco must not know what time it is. There he is. So we've got Ty Simpson. Somebody said, is that a robe you're wearing? Yes, that's a robe I'm wearing. See, look. Robe. Okay? Good. Ty Simpson to the NFL, or, greener pastures. Good luck to him. Tennessee shot their shot with him. The Lane Kiffin backstory on this Levitt thing last night and what's going on with Lane Kiffin and what's going on with Levitt is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Alan Ward, shout out, said, I just got flashed by Basilio. He goes, that's a first. I might wear this robe out to the park today. I feel kind of sexy in my robe. Cinco, let me let you see me in my robe. Cinco, your thoughts on me in my robe right now. I want your honest opinion on my robe before we get into this Portal Mania. And it is mania today, Cinco. Look at that, Cinco.
Brother, I appreciate it. I've already been scouting you on YouTube, and I've already seen the illustrious robe. But
interesting.
If you're going to go, the only advice I have, if you're going to go out to the park, please do not bring a bag of candy, because I do not have bail money with me, brother.
And please stay seated, too, by the way. Stay seated on camera.
Interesting.
Thanks.
I'm in a robe. All lines are currently jammed. Ty Simpson, Tennessee shot their shot with him, which I give him credit. I give him credit. We'll see what happens. So Ty Simpson's out. Now the guy in the hot seat is a guy Cinco and I have talked about last couple of weeks, because he's one of the two guys that Tennessee targeted early on in this process. But you can't make this stuff up. I mean, you can try to make it up. You can think you're making it up. Here's the deal. The whole industry thought that the Arizona State quarterback was going to go to Lane Kiffin. Everybody, it was a foregone conclusion. Everybody that covers the sport, the belief was that Levitt was just, it's a foregone conclusion. Cinco, how does he go last night from sitting next to Lane Kiffin courtside at a basketball game where they're basically showing him off, hey, here's our new quarterback, to he's on our campus? This is just, this stuff's crazy. And here's the thing. This era is taught us, it's kind of like the world at large. Like, literally in the world at large these days, you just never say never. One of the things that I say to my friends as I watch, like, local news or whatever, national news, you just can't surprise me anymore. And when you're watching major college sports now, you can't be outraged. You can't be surprised. You just got to kind of roll with it. So check this out. Somebody just said I had a Hugh Hefner look today.
Larry Flint.
So check this out. You got Ty Simpson turning pro. Tennessee shot their shot with him a couple days ago. You've got, here's the backstory on Levitt. And we can go round and round. What should Tennessee do? First of all, Levitt was going to go to Kentucky. You remember? When the portal first opened, they had a bag for him. They were going to way overpay for him. They were going to make his dreams come true. They were going to do their thing. Somebody just called me Tony the Chin. So Levitt left a huge offer on the table with Kentucky. LSU had Sorsby, or so they thought, bought out from under Texas Tech. Sorsby, obviously we know the rest of the story, Paul Harvey, is at Texas Tech. LSU says to Levitt, don't you dare sign with Kentucky. Get down here. Come on, get down here. You know you're our guy. So he gets down there. And lo and behold, he gets down there, and he's sitting next to Kiffin last night. Now, see if you can kind of follow along here at a basketball game. They're going to sign him, okay? They're going to sign him. Kiffin just hung out with him last night. Where's the offer? Well, what the kid doesn't realize until he opens his phone up is that Damon Williams, who we, ironically enough, I just brought the kid's name up in conversation with John Adams yesterday, just, kind of ironically. But Damon Williams, who signed a deal a few days earlier, not only with Washington, but also one of these new deals that the Big Ten is offering these athletes, basically a binding contract with them. Kiffin has been chasing him since he was at Ole Miss. The kid started at Arizona. He ended up at Washington. He followed his coach from Arizona to Washington. That makes sense. Kiffin, he's a kind of a Chambliss type. If you want to, he's not Chambliss, but he's like a smaller guy that can do a lot of things, and he has 2 years of eligibility. And so Kiffin has no qualms about taking a guy, lying to this guy, moving this guy around. None of these guys do. This is a great study in humanity. It's a great study in everything under the sun. And so Williams is recruited by Lane out of high school. Washington fans are calling him Demon Wilson because his announcement broke last night while there was this is a story now, while there was a celebration of life for a gal on the soccer team that passed away there. And the rest of his teammates were at this thing, and he was getting into the portal and getting out of there. Now, you can't make that up. Cinco, this Levitt guy, you and I talked last week, and we were talking when he wasn't on our radar, but he was, in a tertiary way, he was on the radar because we knew he was one of the guys Tennessee liked. And you had said at that time you wouldn't play around with a guy that's injured and offering him all that money. Are you still on that? Are you still in that tact?
Well, I am. I mean, a couple of things that come about is that what I had heard last night is that Damon Williams is in a legally binding contract.
Yep.
It's not like with Spire or someone else. Their NIL is in-house with the University of Washington. Mm-hmm. And so it's up to the resolve of the University of Washington because legally he cannot sign or make any money off of LSU unless they are releasing him. Now that puts Washington in a bind, I guess, because they still hold all of his. Since you can't pay for play, I guess he could play for LSU, but he can't make any money at LSU. So Lane doesn't care where he makes his money. Is he going to go to LSU and make no money? Obviously, he has no marketing down there.
Yeah.
And so it's the result of Washington. Are they going to hold him to that? But honestly, Levitt needs to go to LSU because those two are made for each other. First of all, you have the injury. Yep. Second of all, you have a handful of off the field things.
That's right.
That are just not great with Levitt.
That's right.
Not include. I mean, the fact that is he may not be available for spring practice.
Right.
That's not outstanding. Now you say, well, you have a guy that Aguilar that didn't practice last year, and he turned out. I get that, mm-hmm. However, you don't want a guy, and I'm not trying to disparage the kid. I just go look at his history.
Mm-hmm.
His history of behavior
Mm-hmm.
for an idle kid. I don't know if that's the greatest thing. You want to pump a bunch of money into that, and then so those two are made. But it's going to be interesting. Do I want him? No. And then the fact of the matter is,
Mm-hmm.
everybody remembers when he and the big running back that's with the Giants or when they were in the playoffs last year.
Yep.
Well, that's not the player he was this year.
Well, let's go back.
He's barely a 60% completion guy.
Yeah. So I was
in a
told.
quarterback-friendly offense.
Yeah, I was told today that the spin on him at Arizona State is they didn't want him back
That's right.
because he wore those people out. They apparently, and I don't know if this is true or not. Again, is a spin? I don't know. But I'm on the phone all morning, okay, and I'm like, hey, what can you tell me about? What can you tell me about this person? And the spin, and it might be spin. I put my hand in the air and say it might be spin. I have no idea. All I can do is speak about this stuff in real time with you in an honest fashion and just try to call balls and strikes as we see them. The spin on this guy, Cinco, is that when he was in Arizona State, they told him, we don't want you doing during the season extracurricular activities. And the kid kept playing basketball with his buddies, like pickup basketball. And apparently that's how he hurt himself. That's how the story goes. And it totally urinated them off. Now, I don't know whether that's true. I have no idea whether that's true. But it just...
Well, not only that, when he got hurt,
yeah,
he checked out. It's not like he was a great teammate. When he got hurt and couldn't play much,
yeah,
he kind of checked out away from the team and started his portal, prep. So I mean, there's a reason that Texas Tech, who swings the big what around,
yeah,
and they went with Sorsby,
yeah,
who's not even close to the accomplishments of Levitt. Not even close. I mean, I don't think. I think I heard someone, maybe Austin Price, say Sorsby's never won a game in November.
Yeah. Yep. And Levitt's been in the playoffs. Levitt's been successful. Levitt was good last year. We saw him in 2024 playoff. I guess what I'm saying about Levitt is it's like a lot of things. There are red flags. Are they real or are they not? I don't know. I know one thing. He's got an injury. And I don't know with the stunt Kiffin pulled last night, I don't know what kind of leverage Levitt has now. He had a huge deal on the table. He's getting ready to get paid, by all accounts, if you believe the stuff. And I'm not the one reporting it. There are reports around the thing that Kentucky was getting ready to throw a bag at him. And all these guys are bag chasers. But they were getting ready to throw a bag at him. Do you want to get involved with a guy, will Miami or Oregon get involved with him? See, that's another interesting little thing here. Why aren't they involved with him? That's another red flaggish kind of thing here. The Moore kid is getting ready to go to the NFL, and Oregon, we know, is quarterback shopping. Why aren't they involved with him? The thought was if Ty Simpson made himself available, Tennessee and Oregon, and maybe even Miami, we're going to have to fight over him. And I like what Heupel did. Get on the airplane, go down there. At that point, a couple days ago, you think about where Heupel was. Levitt was going to go to LSU. And they weren't involved with anybody else. So they took a swing. They took a swing and told the Simpson family, and by the way, you got a son in a couple years. We're interested in him. We want to make nice with you. I'm gonna fly down here on the Monday that we're hosting a ton of kids. We're going to fly down here, and we're going to show you that that we're in the game. I don't mind that. You're not going to look in recruiting. This is effort. You're not going to hit everything. We were talking about that with basketball last night. You're not going to hit on everything. So Kiffin and this Damon Wilson guy, you can't make that up. Kiffin, or Williams rather, he was sitting with Levitt last night at the basketball game when that broke. And a few hours later, the kid's on an airplane coming to Knoxville. Now, Sean, you and I love a little crazy recruiting, okay? I mean, did we ever envision anything? We knew this thing was going to be nuts. Did we ever envision this, Sean?
No, we didn't. I kind of like it though.
Oh,
To be
it's
honest with you.
incredible.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? A Gold Brick told me today. The Gold Brick Joe Bureau. He said, "You know what this is, Tony? We have to be honest with ourselves here as guys. This is back in the day, women watching soap operas, women watching reality TV. This is our reality TV. You know what, Goldie? There's a lot of damn truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that.
There is, but
yeah,
I absolutely love all the people complaining about Texas Tech and Indiana.
Yeah,
as if the game has not changed in the past 50 years. It's just the teams writing the checks have changed. We've always had NIL. It was just called under the table payments. And the Blue Bloods, Duke in basketball, UCLA in basketball, Alabama, Georgia in football, Ohio State in football, Michigan in football, on and on. They've been playing NIL for years. Now when you get a couple of quote-unquote rogue boosters or programs that – look at Texas Tech. They've had Mahomes. They've had a couple of other guys. They've had some high-profile coaches in Leach and Kingsbury who could never move the needle, could never recruit to Lubbock, Texas, ever. Could never do it. And then all of a sudden they got a billionaire to start paying them, and now all the Blue Bloods are upset. Well, the game hasn't changed. You just aren't invited anymore. And now they want something. I frankly love it because now that's the only way. It's just like scholarship limits. The only way you got scholarship limits changed in basketball was because Roy Williams of North Carolina figured out that, hey, I got no one on my roster. They used to be, you could only sign 4 or 5 players. Well, I got no one here. Well, Blue Blood started crying, and you got rules changed. Well, maybe now if the Blue Bloods are getting just hosed by Texas Tech, Indiana, someone else, then they've allowed Oregon to play just like basketball allowed Arizona to play all these years. But if these other guys come in, maybe that's the catalyst that'll start some collective bargaining.
The Blue Blood Country Club has been open to everybody.
That's exactly right,
And
Brian.
expanded.
Now you got Rodney Dangerfield playing on your court.
That's right. And Indiana, here's the thing. Indiana's showing you there's more than one way to skin a cat because they're spending what we're spending. They're not doing what Texas Tech is doing. They're getting guys at a discount.
The difference is Indiana, Ohio State, and Texas Tech are spending big money on older guys. You take a look at who we're spending money. We're trying to get this Xavier Gilliam in. He was a freshman last year. We're trying to get the Breu kid in from Pitt. He was a sophomore last year. We're not. If you take a look at what's going on, that maybe this nickel guy we signed, the freshman, the Ori Williams was a freshman last year. Well, everybody gnashing of teeth and clutching their pearls is not. They're saying, well, we're not competing. It has to be by design. Because they're recruiting the same way in the portal that they did in high school. And I'm sorry, that's why I was late. You asked me in our pre-production meeting to look at the roster and the signees.
Yeah.
And our whole defense is freshmen, redshirt freshmen, and sophomores with a few couple guys sprinkled in like a T-Lander, Weathersby, Devin Hobbs. That's it. And that's what they're going on in the portal. And that's why I don't think Josh Heupel's on the hot seat. I mean, he may be with us fans, but the urgency with which they are going about this portal thing does not suggest there's an urgency at all.
But the curious thing,
they have a plan and they want to build through high school and young guys, and I think that's a grave mistake.
The curious thing, though, right, is if that is your plan, why aren't they communicating that to the fans? And why is Sam Levitt on your campus today? He's a 1-year rental, and you're going to have to pay for your arse to get him. So it is, I mean, there's so much. It's so interesting. It's so layered. It's so nuanced. We're off to a rather tepid and slow start so far. There's very little doubt about that. Look, the Jordan Ross thing and him going into the portal and everybody's alarmed about that. This new defensive coordinator, I almost said AD because I'm thinking about that goofball on Twitter yesterday. Danny White believes that he has to build $100 million buildings to get his kids NIL deals. That was his explanation for why we need this entertainment district that nobody wants, by the way. So that his kids, what are they going to pick up, like shift hours in there? Cook fries in the fast food place? They're going to put me. What are you kidding me? Like, what are you talking about, Danny? Danny. I heard a wise man. He's a really brilliant, bright, young marketer, bright-eyed guy. One time at an inaugural press conference, stood up there and was talking about fixing leaks. We call him the plumber around here. And he said, text a buddy. Text a buddy. To our athletic director, Danny White, I'd like to say to you, text a buddy. You need to get off Twitter, my friend. Too much time on Twitter for you. You need to text a buddy. We're going to come back. Watson Brown's going to join us Wednesday with Watson. This stuff's nuts. I want his thoughts on just how you would play this if you were him. If Sean's right, and Sean might be right, the approach might be, we're going to load this thing up for 27. Why don't you go on Mike Keith's YouTube show and tell the fans, hey, look, this is what you ought to do. I know this portal thing is frustrating for people to watch. We've brought a coordinator in here, a defensive coordinator. We are going to get this thing fixed. The Vanderbilt game and the end of the season was unforgivable, unacceptable. I'm not asking for your forgiveness, and I'm not asking for your acceptance. But what I am communicating to you is that we have two bright young quarterbacks in the stable. We're not going to spend several $1 million on taking a flyer on a guy and gambling. So we're going to get the best quarterback we can get and fortify and build our defense. I think a lot of people, if you communicated that to them, would probably go, yeah, okay. But if you do what this guy does and you don't talk at press conferences and you just kind of look dopey, and you just kind of do this dopey thing that he does, and you look kind of dopey, and you don't look like you're a high-energy guy, and you don't look like there's a lot of urgency around your deal, you're going to get people highly inflamed that care about this thing. So if Sean's right, and that appears to be what they're doing, and by the way, I said yesterday, for one Sam Levitt, now, what Kentucky was going to pay him, okay? I don't know what his worth is now, because now that when you jump from this place to that place, this kid's going to learn about economics like Nico did last year. Sooner or later, you're going to be out of options. And the people at Arizona State say this kid's kind of flighty and not the brightest tool in the shed. I'm not knocking the kid. I'm just telling you what they're saying. I don't know whether that's true or not. I have no idea. They didn't lose Herring and Ross, though. This coordinator does not want ends that can get shoved inside the way those guys did in the bowl game. It's not what this guy wants to do. This guy wants people that don't have my rear end, okay? Because the great Jerry Lingenfelter told me one time, he said, Tony, there is a product they make called no acetol, and you drank it by the gallon. So I can get myself some of that down at Fleet Tire. Great line, Jerry. We'll come back on the other side. So let's all relax here. I don't know how to feel about this Sam Levitt thing. I mean, 3 weeks ago I was really excited about it, and then I thought about, he's kind of injured. And then you hear this stuff about how they didn't want him back, and he's just kind of not serious. And guys like this, I generally from 10,000 feet would drive me nuts. I was laughing at Kentucky for throwing a bag at him earlier on Friday when that first broke, and I can't be a hypocrite and then turn around and go, yeah, I really want the guy. I don't know how to feel. I'm just being honest with you. So you're going to say, well, you're always negative. I'm not always negative. I'm trying to, I'm telling you that the defensive coordinator, it isn't like they were begging Ross to stay here yet a couple days ago. They weren't. They were not. Now, did they tell him to get in the portal? Look, they're going to hope to get better players than him, believe it or not. That's what they're aiming for. Will they get there? I don't know. Will they get there this offseason? I don't know. Are there people on the portal, people on the roster that are – I have no idea. But our fan base is pretty confused right now. And we've got an AD that's out there fighting with people about an entertainment district nobody wants, while this football thing looks like, from the outside, and I'm not saying it is, but it just looks like it's cratering. No offense. Now, I am encouraging everybody to proceed with caution and patience, because what else are you going to do but proceed with caution and patience? I mean, what other choice do we have? Let's see how it plays out, see how it works out. But right now, Sean, it is off to a rocky start. Yes or no? I'm talking a rocky start.
We do not appear to be filling our needs as of today. Now, I want to condition this by saying I don't know what's going to happen in 6 hours.
That's
I don't
right.
know what's going to happen tomorrow.
That's right.
I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the portal. I have no idea.
That's
it
right.
could rain 5 stars in here that want to come play for what their value is, not the market. So who knows? I'm just saying, as of right this second at approximately 11:30, it does not appear that our needs are being met to face that gauntlet we have next year.
And that's true. And that's why if I were him and I was playing a 2-year plan, which I would probably play a 2-year plan, I'd probably say, you know what? I got 2 quarterbacks that aren't ready next year. We're going to get a guy in here that's going to play. But I'm going to focus on getting 2-year players on my defense. We're going to load this thing up for the 27 season, and we're going to go. And I need your patience. And you have to start communicating that. Like yesterday. And Mike Keith would have him on, and they would have an intelligent conversation, and he would do a really nice job with it. And he would give him a platform to say everything he needs to say, and then the fans could either accept it or say, hey, you're making $10 million, we don't do mulligans around here, whatever. But if that's your plan, let it be your plan.
Tony, and another thing on this, Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State was more than happy to trade Cutter Boley for Levitt to Kentucky.
That's the point. And
who had a nice end of the year, but that's all he had was a nice end of the year at Kentucky. And he was more than happy to make that trade.
So 865-200-5402. Hold your calls, because I got to visit with the great Watson Brown. It's a Wednesday with Watson, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. We cut it. We cut it up with him right after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years. 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination. or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Start the new year with comfort and savings from Pipe Wrench Home Services. Tired of high energy bills and constant heating and AC repairs? Ready for a more efficient home? There's never been a better time to upgrade your comfort and take control of your energy costs. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. A new energy efficient system means lower bills, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind for years to come. And with Pipe Wrench Home Services same-day service guarantee, you won't wait to start enjoying a more comfortable home. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. Schedule your free estimate today at pipewrench.com. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer good with approved credit. Some restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. Living Vol fan, when it's time to get ready for 2026 and what's ahead, there's only one place. It's Alumni Hall, the best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands, Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. And check this out. All the basketball stuff that the Tennessee basketball fan could ever need. Some great Tennessee baseball stuff as well. Any season, any reason. Alumni Hall, 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Murfreesboro, Bristol, and now open, of course, in Johnson City. And anytime online, alumnihall.com. Say it loud, say it proud. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience, Alumni Hall. You know, I just had a conversation with a friend when I was changing and putting some clothes on, and now I don't know if I look presentable. I look something interesting, I guess is what they say, but it beats starting the show in a bathrobe. Tony, why were you in a bathrobe? We were up till went off the air at 12:30 last night because we have to start basketball games, not at 9, at 9:15, closer to 9:20. local time last night, and well, I did a Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime last night that probably 500 people heard. But I mean, you got to do it because if you're going to do it, you're going to be professional. You got to do it, and if you're going to do them after every game, you got to do them after every game. That's what you do, and it's. But sometimes, I'm sitting up there and I'm showering, and I look up at the clock, and I'm like, "Is it this late?" And then Laura calls me and goes, you have like 2 minutes. So you put a bathrobe on, you come down, you do the show. And Cinco, one thing to consider, right? This Levitt guy, if we could get him at the right price, and he's kind of like a hard head, and he's kind of going to drive you nuts, and he's kind of a free spirit, he might just be, if you look at the other side of it, right? As was just said to me, he might just be exactly what we need around here. A little shake-up, little Brett Favreism. I mean, who knows? On the other hand, he might just really work out. I mean, you have to kind of, if you're able to get him, you have to kind of ask that, right?
Well, it's maybe, but it's hard for me to believe that there aren't quarterbacks out there. And I know this is unbecoming, but I cannot believe there aren't quarterbacks out there in maybe the group of 5 or Division II or something like that. I mean, not everybody's going to turn out to be Chambliss, but you can't tell me there aren't guys that can work with Josh Heupel's system that are more reliable, that'll cost less money, that are good leaders, and they're successful winners. I don't know why everybody's available from what you're saying, according to LSU and some of these other schools. Just go pull them in. There's got to be guys out there.
I was saying on the blog today, well, what if things fall through, right, with this guy today? You have got to have a list of 4 or 5 guys if you're a Tennessee that you have on standby. Maybe at a lower level where you say, hey, look, Ty Simpson, obviously they tried to get involved with him, and I give them a lot of credit because if you think that our head coach flew down there to visit with 3 kids that are 2 classes or 3 classes away from on the first Monday of the portal, great, good for you. That's wonderful. I don't.
But is that really your plan? Is that what you go into your plan?
I don't.
A guy that's consistently been projected as a first-round draft pick.
Well, I don't think it was their plan, but I think at this point that's who they're trying to get, and now
that's my point.
Well, we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be argumentative.
No, you're fine.
Okay, here's what we got. If I'm a fan and a season ticket holder, okay?
Yes.
And I don't contribute to the NIL. I did it one time, and I thought it was absurd.
Yes.
And plus, I don't have that kind of scratch to even. I mean, I can't even. I wouldn't even buy a recruiting lunch. Let's be honest here.
Okay.
Of what I would be willing to donate. But we have one of the highest price tickets in the country. We now have a talent fee, right? And I'm sitting here looking at the past 2 recruiting classes, and I'm watching us pay 4 and 5 stars at the head of the thing, 2 or 3 a year, and then, and frankly, a bunch of 3 stars. And then I'm watching those 5 stars the next day or next year or so ask for more money, and we tell them to walk. And then I'm watching 3 stars that can't get on the field, don't develop, and then move on, and we got to backfill with transfer guys. So where's this money getting spent, and where's the money showing up on the field? Because again, you don't have to trust me. Go and look at the returning guys on the field, on this roster. Go and look at the signing classes, and you're going to see a defensive backfield which has a bunch of 3-star high school kids that are undersized when we signed them. They're getting a new strength and conditioning coach, thank God, but they're getting brand new coaches in a brand new system. And we pick up a nickel kid from Kansas State. And then we have D-line with brand new coaches, Garner staying here, brand new everything. And they're a bunch of freshmen, redshirt freshmen and sophomores competing against 22 and 23-year-olds. Where do those 2 meet?
And Watson Brown, that's a conversation as I bring you in on this. We knew this thing was going to be crazy, Watson. I texted you what I started the show with today, so you'd have it. Lane Kiffin, Watson, on Wednesday with Watson, presented by our friends at Simpsons Meats. We're getting to the meat of the matter right now. Online at simpsonsmeats.com. He's sitting there last night with a guy in Sam Levitt who thinks, man, I'm going, they're taking me to a game. They're whining me and dining me. And I'm at LSU, and I'm going to be the new quarterback here, and they're going to throw a bag at me, and, man, life is good. And he's sitting there watching that game, and all of a sudden that coach looks down at a text, and he sees that this Williams kid from Washington, man, he really did it. Now, never mind the fact that Mom Williams signed a deal a few days earlier, and Lane Kiffin's aware of this, with Washington and also with the Big Ten, Watson. Not just an NIL deal, but a deal with the conference. That's what these leagues are doing now, or at least that league is doing it. They're signing these guys to kind of more binding type deals. And then the kid says 3 days later, well, Lane Kiffin's got a good point. I kind of need to get out of this because all of a sudden LSU has cold feet about this Sam Levitt guy. And, who are the good guys and who are the bad guys in this thing, Watson, as I bring you in? How do we come to this, man?
The bad guys are the ones that let it get to this point. Everybody is reacting to what they can react to. And when you have no rules, basically, then it becomes a dadgum wild, wild west, and that's what we're seeing. And we can't get on the players and the coaches for this. It's now how are they going to handle it? We can get on them, the decisions they make. But out doing what they're doing and having to chase every other program in the country for this one or that one, and the thing that's going to blow up, guys, at some point are these contracts. And when the courts finally say, no, you cannot, you have to pay blah, 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 or you cannot break this contract. Till those days, till that happens, this commitment right now is a joke because that could change tomorrow. And somebody else comes in and says, oh, yeah, you're committed, but we're going to give you another $1 million on top of that.
Yeah.
And that's what I think behind the scenes is going on. And when you sign a contract and then you leave,
yep.
What have coaches done for years? What did I do?
Yeah. I had a former player.
I was on a contract.
Yeah.
Every place I went,
Contracts.
I got fired one time.
Yeah.
At Vanderbilt. Everywhere else, it was me leaving, Tony, and I was on contract. Contracts are the deal to me, and the transfer portal, stopping this, you can leave every year. Those are the two things that I think need to be dealt with.
Watson, the big boys are getting blown by, too, by the Texas Techs and the Indianas. The big boys are getting smoked right now. And here's the thing.
Money, man.
And it's money.
It's money.
And here's
totally
the thing.
Money.
Totally money. And
Cody Campbell played for Mike Leach and is loaded,
yep.
and the place means so much to him. He will spend whatever, guys, whatever. This is a deep-rooted family deal with him and his partner. That both were offensive linemen for Mike Leach at Texas Tech. That's deep now. But that's the old family deal. That family is truly built while you're there, and it means so much to you that he's special now, and he is throwing it to all their sports, not just football.
Watson, I got to ask you about this. So you're Lane Kiffin. You got a guy visiting. You have him at a basketball game. You've trotted him out here in public. Obviously, the implication from that is this is our next quarterback. We brought him here. The whole industry thinks this is who we're bringing, and then you got a shiny object that listened to you and jumped into the portal, even though he has a contract. So you cut this guy loose, and he's on Tennessee's campus today. But here's the backstory on him. And look, this could be. I said it on the air off the jump today, and I want your thoughts. A lot of times when you leave a place, they'll say, well, we didn't want him anyway. But the folks, the spin at Arizona State is this guy drove that coach nuts. It looked on Friday like Arizona State was pretty content to trade the Boley kid at Kentucky with Levitt, who was going to go to Kentucky. And they were pretty content to make that trade. Now, this guy won some games, made a playoff run with that Cam Scatterboot kid who was a special back a couple years ago, but they had some chemistry and they had something going, and this kid played at a really high level, Sam Levitt. But he's got this Liz Frank injury, this lower limb injury. We don't know how long it's going to take to heal, if it heals, how it's going to heal. There are no guarantees with that injury we've seen in the past. And then we have this thing where somebody told me today that he drove them so crazy that, like, they would ask him, look, don't play basketball with your friends in season. And he would go out and play with his friends, and apparently that's how he hurt himself. So there are red flags all over this guy, but you're Tennessee and you're in a spot, you need to make a splash, and you need to get a quarterback. Or do you need to get a quarterback, Watson? Shouldn't they just – people are asking, why not just let McIntyre play or the Brandon kid play, or just go get like one of these guys like you got Joey last year late in the deal just to kind of manage your offense. Does Tennessee need to do this, do you feel like, Watson? If you're in Heupel's spot right now and you're coming off the year you're coming off, do they need to make a splash here?
There's only one group that knows that, and that's those coaches, because they're with the young man every day, and watched him, and is he strong enough? Is he ready to play? Is he mentally ready to play? Is he as good as we thought he was? Is he better than we thought he was? We can all talk about that, Tony, all day long, but we don't know because we're not there, and they're with him, and they know. And so what they do is going to tell you how they feel about him and the other guy. And if they go bring in a 2-year guy, that tells me that they don't think he's the answer, because he won't stay if they bring in a 2-year guy. If they bring in a 1-year guy, maybe they have sit and talked that with him and said one more year will get you perfect, and you'll get 2 good ones or 3 from us for yourself, and blah, blah, blah. We could go on and on about this, but they know where they are. And believe me, they've made a decision on their own quarterbacks. And we're just kind of seeing what it is. And this is the first time that they've shown up on a quarterback that tells you evidently they don't think he's ready yet. Or maybe this is a field deal after this just fell through at LSU.
That's right.
I don't know. But how in the world – I watched that Levitt play through that playoff time. He played his heart out. The thing that showed out about him was his guts.
Yep.
Tougher than nails, get up and do it again. Bad play, come back and make 3 in a row. Made a lot of plays when it was time to make a play. So all of that, trying to say he don't care, I can't go with that, because I've seen him on the field lay it out there.
He's a free spirit, though, right? He's like hard to corral.
That we don't know.
Yeah.
That injury does scare me.
Yes.
The injury is a major red flag to me. I've had a bunch of my guys have that injury, and probably half of them never made it back the way they were before they hurt it. And so that one I got to look hard into that. But, Tony, this is what's going on, Sean and guys. No, these coaches don't know these kids. They do not know these kids they're bringing in. They're bringing them in for 2 days. They're bringing them in for 2 days and then making a decision. The old days, you recruited guys for a year. You knew the family. You're there 6 times. I mean, they're at many games. I flew to Alabama myself 6 times, and 2 games and 4 practices. 6 times.
When you were being recruited by Bear.
They knew my family. They knew everything about me. I knew everything about them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so – now you're recruiting a kid in 2 days?
Yep. So,
I mean, toss a coin, man. You can fuss at the coaches all you want, but this is what they're having to do. And we've killed the high school kids. We're taking these high school kids, so many less few guys are signing now than the old days. And that's where I still say, build your team with high school kids that you know, and then mix in a good solid group. But don't build your team out of the transfer portal. I mean, in the old days when somebody did that in junior college, they built it out of junior college, they had to stay junior college. They could never turn it around. And if you go and you build it off the portal, you got to stay in the portal. That's what Indiana and Texas Tech are doing, and we'll see if they can keep doing it. So far, Indiana's done it 2 years in a row. Okay, I give them credit for that. I want to see if they can keep doing it because sooner or later you're going to miss on some guys when you don't know them, when you just don't know them. Now, I understand the quarterback at Washington, Lane had recruited and knows well, and so that may be what that's all about. But this Wild Wild West, guys, till we get it under control, every university is going to be just like you all are right now about Tennessee. It's all up in the air, and it scares you to death, man. And because there's no stability to it whatsoever.
None.
Zero.
I mean, like
2 days, you're bringing in the guy that's going to be your next quarterback, and you're going to be around him on campus for 2 days.
Cinco, think about that. Think about what he's saying. Back in the day, you had a chance to bring him in, get to know him, watch him through a fall. Now you have to determine, first of all, is this guy going to be healthy? Secondly, do I want to pay him several $1 million? Thirdly, I'm going to tie my livelihood and all the livelihood of all these people in this building in here to him, because if we fail this year, we might be going out the door with that schedule we have. Who knows? Because unless I communicate to the fans that I'm building for 26-27, plus I'm going to urinate off this McIntyre family if I bring this guy in, because I'm telling them, hey, we just kind of jumped over your son for now. I mean, I'm sorry. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Get your case of rice-a-roni on the way out the door. I don't know how they're going to handle it. All for somebody, Sean, that you don't know. He's got a really good point. I mean, if you stop and think about that, how we've gotten in this spot, and they're all doing it, Sean. They're all doing it.
Well, I think it's even worse than that because right now, like Coach was saying, you do all that, but an official visit used to be over a weekend.
Yep.
And you bring them in for games, and you'd take them to the academic advisors. You'd take them to the head of the business college if that's what they wanted to study.
Yep.
You'd tour the campus. You'd tour the facilities. You'd talk to the strength coach. Now, like Jermon McCoy was only in here for a few hours. These kids now aren't even getting that thing. All they want to do is they want to come in. They know the college is college. Weightlifting is weightlifting. All they want to do is find out in the agent how much you're willing to pay.
Yep.
And if you're in the ball game, if you are, great. If you're not, then if you're not, then they'll give some very polite interview to the VolQuest of whatever school you're at, and then they'll move on.
And I've got sort of a counterpoint to,
go ahead, Brian,
to not knowing a kid.
Yeah.
The coaches do have access to more film of him, and they can see better how they might project in their offense because they've seen him do it against other collegiate competition.
Yeah.
Does that sort of offset that a little bit and make it a little bit easier?
Brian, he's not even
talking.
Yeah,
but Brian, back in the day, and Coach can talk about this, but back in the day, I had coaches when I was working the recruiting office, coaches would tell me, Doug Matthews, in fact, was one of them. You can look at tape and everything, but he said, I'll know everything I need to know about a kid if I'm sitting in their living room and see how they interact with their mother or their little sister. If they show up for that visit on time, or they're in these days, if they're sitting there playing video games or watching it while I'm making my pitch. Is that correct, Coach?
That's absolutely right. And Brian is right. You do know you're not guessing as much with an older kid that's already performed in college. But that's really not what the part I'm talking about. I'm talking about knowing the inner piece of the kid and his environment and his background and all of that you learn from being around them 6 different times. Maybe more than that, tell you the truth, when you bring them to campus another 6 times or so. So that's what I'm talking about. You're watching on tape. All you really know about the kid is what Brian is saying. You know what kind of football player he is because you watched him line up and play against good players in college. You're not thinking, okay, how will he be by sophomore year? You're saying this kid is ready to come in and play, and that is a plus. But all the other pieces that really matter, I think, every bit as much as what you see in talent on the field is also very important, and that's what you're not getting whatsoever. You just bring them in, and then you get to know them. And I'm not sure that's the best way to go about it.
Watson Brown joining. He's presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. It's a Wednesday with Watson. The playoffs are this weekend as well. I want to ask him about that. He pretty much nailed it last week on the head. That Indiana bunch is kind of playing a different game right now. That's pretty wild what they did to Alabama, and for us that have been around a while, that was kind of crazy to see any Alabama team get beat like that, especially on a stage like that. But I'll tell you this, my friends at Simpson's Meats, Indiana right now, they're just kind of a cut above. They just are. And my friends at Simpson's Meats are doing the same thing because they raise and source their meat from farms on pasture on purpose as they comfortably continue a tradition that began in 1888 on Jim Simpson's farm. Whether it's steaks, burgers, sausages, roast, chicken, they've got a variety of local offerings at their butcher shop as well, from milk, honey, to jam, to eggs, and more. Make 2026 the year where you treat yourself and treat people you love, because they've got gift boxes. You can ship them anywhere in the world. I'm shipping to families, to my family rather, in Pennsylvania, like a 2026 Happy New Year kind of token of our appreciation, and we love you. And I haven't been back home in like 2 years, so I just want them to know that I'm still alive, if you know what I'm saying. Premium meats, though, can be shipped anywhere. Simpsonsmeats.com. You can check out the store at West Knoxville off Level Road, and go check them out today and tell them that we sent you. Watson, this portal thing is so crazy because Tennessee is in the process right now of trying to get a bunch of Penn State players who are in the portal and defensive players, which would really behoove them, which would really help them. It looks like they're about to get a commitment from one of their defensive tackles, who's a pretty good player, the Xavier Gilliam guy. And the Xavier Gilliam guy likes it so much here, which is a really good sign, and took to it so early that he actually talked Chaz Coleman, who was maybe going to fly over here from LSU on his way to Ohio State. He talked him into coming in over the weekend, but it would be really good for this Knowles guy if he could get 3 or 4 of these Penn State kids that played in his system last year. Yes, Watson, that would be really ideal, would it not?
Yeah, and you see a lot of that. These guys leave to go to other schools, and quite a few of their players follow. It's mostly head coaches, but I think you're also now starting to see coordinators create some of that movement too. And look at all the kids that are leaving Iowa State and going to Penn State. It happens. An awful lot of South Florida kids are going to Auburn. You're going to keep seeing that, and it's going to be real interesting to see, because Kiffin don't care. He will do anything, and it's going to be real interesting when Ole Miss is out of the playoffs, if they are, because I think they're one of the few teams I think could beat Miami right now, because they're going to score some points, and that quarterback's going to move around and dodge some of those pass rushes. I'm telling you. So I think that Ole Miss has got a little better shot than everybody thinks in this thing, because they match Miami well. I think Miami better score some points. But what I'm getting at is, yes, you're seeing a lot of that, and because they know them. They know them a lot better than on a 2-day trip, and that means something.
So let's do
How
this.
Sustainable is just the coaching upheaval at Ole Miss. You've got some coaches that have been there, that stayed around, that are going to LSU, and then it's rumored that they might actually have to all go to LSU when the portal opens, but Charlie Weiss Jr. is going to stay, and who knows, they may decide that if Ole Miss wins it all, that they might just stay there. Is this kind of thing sustainable? It's hard to believe Ole Miss has gotten this far. Is this sustainable, all this coaching chaos there?
Sooner or later, Brian, this thing's got to blow up, and it's going to blow up not all at once. It's going to blow up by schools. You're going to see this school just get devastated, and we've already seen it with Florida State. Look at the Florida State program right now.
Yep.
I mean, because they went to the portal and made poor decisions, and now trying to catch back up.
Yep.
And so I think you're going to see more of that, Brian. I think you all are always sharp in your thoughts, and in my opinion, and I think you're dead on again. Sooner, this thing's got to blow up. It's just what blows up first, But when you sign a contract and then you leave, is that okay? Is that okay? Are we just going to – what does a contract mean? It's a one-way street then. That's all it is. It's not a two-way street. That's what coaches' contracts have been forever. Well, it's a one-way street.
He's speaking
it helps
the truth.
The coach. It doesn't help the school.
And that's how we got here, because the kids eventually
That's
said,
how we got here, because coaches have done it forever, and I did it 5 times.
That's right.
5 times.
And you said you
I
weren't
was
proud of
under
it.
contract when I went to another school 5 times.
And you said, I'm not proud of it, but it is what it was.
No, I mean, but it's what you do. It's what everybody does. And what everybody does is sooner or later, somebody above all this has got to come up with a way. And the courts could do this if some of these schools are now suing these players.
Yeah.
And if they win those cases in courts, it's really going to open up a can of worms when that first one that falls and you got to pay this amount of money back or whatever. That's going to start a lot of stuff. I'm surprised schools hadn't tried to sue coaches like that.
Let's start hour 2 here. Well, let's start hour 2 here. I'm going to keep it live and legal.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Watson Brown brings something really interesting up because Washington's promising. We don't know who the team is at Tampa. We think it's LSU. Context clues. Of course it's LSU. It's going to be Lane Kiffin.
It's got to be.
Yeah, it's always going to be LSU.
Got to be.
Because he sent a guy loose, and he cut him loose last night. And here's the thing: if they sue and drag LSU into that lawsuit, then all of a sudden, a lot of this stuff gets laid bare in a court, and it could get really interesting. But let's go back here. So if you're Tennessee and this is your dime and your dance floor, right? Are you spending a lot of money on a guy like Levitt, or are you going to get a functioning quarterback, kind of like Joey Aguilar, to play in your offense next year and focusing on building the interior of your offensive line, which needs some help, and building up your defense, which needs some help, for a really difficult schedule this year? How would you roll that? If you were at the craps table there, Watson, and you were rolling the dice, what would you do?
I don't think it's a philosophy. I think it's the kid. If I've got a kid, if Sam Levitt, I love him. I absolutely love him. I will pay the money to get him. But if I don't, and I really like this 3-star guy that's been a good player at App State or wherever, then I go get him. I don't. If you go at a philosophical way with that, Tony, I think you get in trouble. You got to find the guy. There's 3,500 to 4,000 kids in the portal, for God's sakes. That's unbelievable. And so all your recruiting staffs are doing are watching, and when they find something they like, then they take it to the coach. Now, this has been going on long before today. They've been doing that all fall and looking at stuff. So, but I think it's up to how much do you really like this player. It isn't always the big dog. Ole Miss is playing in the semifinals with a Division II quarterback that they found, they liked, they brought him in, and loved him before he ever hit the field. I read an article where the offensive coordinator said this kid had 5 series in our first scrimmage in the summer, and he went 5 for 5, 5 touchdowns. So, I mean, they fell in love with him when they got him there, but they would have never have taken him if they didn't really like him, Tony, before that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's all about. If you find one that's a little less money, so be it. You love the kid, take him, go after him.
Yeah.
Don't just take a 5-star guy because he's a 5-star guy. I mean, they better really love Levitt if they're going to take him, and I'm sure they've been looking at him. I don't think there's any way if the Tennessee fan thinks they just looked at him overnight because all of a sudden he's free. I don't believe that. I think they've studied them all if they're doing their job, and I think they're doing their job.
Watson, let's go look at these playoff games, and then I really love having you on and appreciate you, brother. You're the man. So you got Miami. Brian, one thing that we got to mention about Ole Miss is those players with what Lane Kiffin, the stunt he's pulled. And he pulled a stunt now because not only did he leave, but then he did this thing publicly where he was calling back his coaches and you're winning too much and I want some attention over here. And somebody in the industry, Watson, this really will surprise you, told me he tried to talk his way onto the set of the Game Day show and they told him no thank you, which I'm sure that really surprised you. Lane doesn't seem like the type that tries to get attention for himself. Anyway, those kids are galvanized. That game they played against Georgia the other night on both sides of the football was inspired football. It looked like the 1980 Olympic team that Herb Brooks coached, okay? I mean, you talk about a team that was laying it all on the line. It gives me chills thinking about how incredible their effort was the other night. And so, Watson, I picked Miami to beat Ohio State. I pick Ole Miss over Miami for that reason. And it would not surprise me if Ole Miss raises the chalice at the end of this. And it might be one of the greatest things ever if Ole Miss wins a national championship in football while Lane Kiffin's over there on the sidelines trying to figure it out at LSU. How do you agree with me that Ole Miss has a great chance of winning this game?
The family feel that they've put together since Kiffin left has been phenomenal. And they circled the wagons. The AD made a great move in hiring the guy instead of making him the interim. If you made him the interim, there wouldn't be this family feel whatsoever. They're just getting through the year. But by hiring him, and evidently they really liked him, they wouldn't have done that. But by hiring him, and then he's been unbelievably able to rally them. And they look more like a team than anybody, including Indiana. They look as much like a team and excited and pulling for each other. What a crowd they had at the Super Bowl. They've also got their fans that have jumped on the ship, man, and they're really behind these kids and this team. They had a lot more people there than Georgia did, in my opinion. I don't know what it ended up ticket-wise, but it looked to me like there was a lot of Columbia blue in those stands. So, yeah, and they've got the pieces. They're playing much better on defense right now than they've played all year long, still giving up too many big plays, but they're playing better on defense. And I'm going to tell you that offense is as good as any in the country. They are really putting it together. Lacey, that tailback, is phenomenal. He is a fantastic football player. That little quarterback is phenomenal. I mean, he is phenomenal. And their skill on the outside is really good. Offensive line is okay, not poor by any means, solid, but their skill on offense is really, really good. And the feet of this quarterback, you can't beat Miami without a guy with feet. That's what happened to Ohio State that I didn't think about. Is he doesn't move great.
That's right.
And that was the difference. I mean, he just got clobbered. This kid won't get clobbered, guys. He'll see it coming, and he'll squirm around here and spin out here. And those 2 or 3 plays he made in a row in the second half against Georgia, I'm not sure anybody in the country could have made. I mean, they were phenomenal football plays.
Watson, we've come to a place where Ole Miss is America's team going into this thing.
Yeah, because what they've been through.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
They're
they have become America's team.
Right.
Everybody's pulling for them.
Everybody.
So don't count them out this week. Do not count them out.
Cinco, Ole Miss has never been your speed because you live down there in Memphis, and you told us, it rubbed you the wrong. Cinco, you got to admit that Ole Miss, that you're cheering for Ole Miss right now. You got to admit it, Sean.
Oh, I'd love to see an Ole Miss Indiana final.
I mean,
and
it drives everybody crazy.
See what happens. But yeah, I'm rooting for Ole Miss. There's no question about it.
And then Indiana, Watson. Somebody just put in my chat here. Really, well, Mark Cuban finally came out and admitted that he's bankrolling Indiana. Hey, listen, who cares who's bankrolling them? Everybody's bankrolled. Why shouldn't Indiana have a bankroll? Everybody gets a bankroll.
Yeah.
I mean, hell.
All the good ones do.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. There's nobody there that's still playing that don't have a bankroll. I can tell you that right there.
All right. Oregon, Indiana, interesting game. I don't know what the pros see in this Moore guy. Everybody tells me what a great pro prospect he is. He looks like an okay college quarterback to me. I don't get it. Do you get it, Watson, when you watch him?
No, the games in the playoffs, he's been very inconsistent.
Thank you.
Very inconsistent. I do see talent. I do see a bunch of talent, but man, he's of the 4 that are left.
Yeah.
He's the most inconsistent quarterback of the four. And I don't even think it's close. Carson Beck has played really well. What he does so well, guys, is he gets rid of the football. That ball is out of his hands. He is not one to hold it, and it's coming through for him right now. He'll dink it down. He is getting rid of the football, and they're going to have to score points to beat Ole Miss. Ole Miss will get their points against Miami, and Oregon is set up perfect to beat Indiana, but I just don't know if they can do it. The ball really is sitting in their court because they lost in a very close game and lost on the last play of a game when they threw an awful interception that he threw. And I promise you, they're licking their chops for another shot here. So they're set up perfect. But I'm just not sure they're still good enough to beat that team. I've never seen an Alabama team dominated like that since Coach Bryant and Southern Cal. I haven't seen it since that time. And Coach Bryant changed his whole philosophy after the way Southern Cal manhandled them. Well, you're having to think the same way because the difference in those fronts, talk the skill all you want, Indiana dominated Alabama on both sides of the football up front. Dominated them.
Those people down there, I don't know what this DeBoer guy's doing, Watson, but he better get it in gear, and he better get it in gear quickly, man, because that's not going to be fun for him.
He better get some physicality back in that football team.
They got shoved around.
Oh, embarrassing. And honestly, that's been the biggest problem, I think, for the SEC. In all they've been beat up front in a lot of these games, guys. I'm a major SEC guy.
Yep.
And I have to be honest.
Yep.
I have seen a physicality is the biggest issue in a lot of their losses. I saw it at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt
got shoved around.
And Iowa.
Oh my God!
That was a physical. I mean, Iowa just dominated them physically in that game.
Hey, that Pavia guy, since he's been at Vandy, he has not been hit like that. They were credit. They were crash test
He got up winning in.
Oh yeah, he did.
That.
He did. But us against
that
Illinois.
One. Look at all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, just look down the thing, and I think the SEC's got to look in the mirror, and we got to get back to some major physical play. We got athletes, but we got to get more physical.
Watson, you're my man. So it will be Indiana and Ole Miss for the Natty. That would be incredible.
That's what I think, and I hope I'm not just pulling for Ole Miss because of this situation. But looking at it, I think Ole Miss might be the only one that can score the amount of points they're going to need to beat Miami. I think they'll no less than high 20s against Miami, and nobody in the playoffs has even come close to moving it like that on them. But this is the team I think that can do it.
Much love to you, Watson Brown. Thank you, brother.
Y'all hang in there.
You too, my man. Presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. As Ty Simpson's on the way to the NFL. Tennessee is burning up on another love, as a great Eric Clapton once said. It's a great jam. That's a great little jam from back in the day. Burning up on another lover. My friends at Simpson's Meats, remember, they source their meat on farms, pasture on purpose. It's a 1888, a family tradition, as Hank Jr. once said. And listen, Bo Cephas himself will tell you at SimpsonsMeats.com, when it's time to send a great gift anywhere in the world, their gift box is par excellence. Hundreds and hundreds have out of this audience. They also have half and quarter cows available, if that's your speed. And there's so much stuff flying around right now. So many names. Cinco, guys like Cinco that are recruitniks, this stuff speaks to them. Somebody said earlier on our YouTube chat that, some fans are going to be critical of Tennessee if they sign this Levitt guy. Some fans are going to be critical if they don't sign this Levitt guy. Listen. Josh Heupel makes big money, and he can take a little criticism. Danny White makes big money, and he can take a little criticism. And fans have skin in the game because they either care or they spend money or both. and never has a season ticket holder in any of these sports at the University of Tennessee been asked more from. And it goes up year over year over year. So if folks want to bitch, even about a good move, let them bitch. That's the way I look at it. Personally, I'm looking at this Levitt guy, and I'm taking the totality of the information that I have, and I'm thinking to myself, is it a good idea? I don't know. I'm just asking out loud, is it a good idea? Is it a good idea? Come back. We'll get your phone calls, and we'll get into it with you. I want to hear from you at 865-200-5402. And I want to thank the great Watson Brown for joining. And we'll get the phone calls in on the other side as we do it right after this.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio!
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Hey there, Basilio crew. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. The holiday season is here, and if your plans include unwrapping your new home, then take advantage of less competition and motivated sellers while others are out fighting over parking spots at the mall. Smart buyers are out snagging deals on great homes, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols!
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. We'll get as many people in here as humanly possible. I want to hear from you today. This is your hour O Power. Let's go ahead and we'll take you up to Playbook with William Pass, and we'll do a little overtime because I worked into the wee small hours and didn't get the best sleep last night, so I don't know how much of this I have in me, but just hit the reset button here. Tennessee, it looks like they're going to get Xavier Gilliam from Penn State, who's going to be a real nice player. He's also a guy that's pretty popular on Penn State's football team, I understand. There are a couple more Penn State guys went into the portal yesterday, including a DB. Tennessee would be pretty, I think, well-served to look at. The adjuster, the green dot guy, blue dot, whatever he wore there, is in the portal and I guess linked to the Vols. We'll see what happens. We have a lot to talk about. We'll go back to our phones. The situation with the Levitt kid is pretty simple. Levitt left an offer on the table with Kentucky to go to LSU. He was 1,000% going to LSU according to the industry. Last night, the Williams kid, the quarterback at Washington, who had a deal signed, said, well, it doesn't apply to me. Contracts don't apply to me. I'm going to make like a lot of these coaches. I'm just going to go and deal with, you're going to deal with the ramifications. I'll see you in court, whatever. Levitt, no room at the end at LSU for him. I was laughing at Lane Kiffin when they were going to get damaged goods. I don't know if I'm laughing at us. If we get damaged goods, I don't know that we're going to get him. I don't know how that's going to go. He is the first quarterback we've seen Tennessee linked with in terms of real linkage. I do think Tennessee tried to get in the Ty Simpson deal. I do think that's what that was about Monday. We do know that Ty Simpson was also talking to NFL people at that time. And look, If the kid decided he wasn't going to go, then you could have gotten in the mix and in the hunt with him. That would have been a very smart thing to do on two fronts. One, he would have fit your offense, and two, and he knows the SEC, and three, he's got a younger brother that can really play. So at the very least, you went down there, you met the little brother, you did the howdy and shake with the father, you paid those people respect. I mean, whatever. I give Heupel credit for that. Some people are criticizing him. I mean, geez, that's a tough crowd. I give him credit for that. At least you're showing you're trying, and you're trying something. And let's go back to the phones. 865-200-5402. The Levitt thing's interesting because Oregon needs a quarterback, Miami needs a quarterback, Tennessee needs a quarterback, and I don't know who's Oregon is involved with. I don't know who Miami's involved with, and Tennessee we know has an interest in Levitt. Do those other two teams now jump in there, and do they all compete and fight over this kid? And God knows. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
How you doing, Tony?
You can't lead off. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, hey, Tony. It's Jason and Dalton. How are you?
Hey, Jason and Dalton. Welcome in.
Hey, long time no talk. I sent you an email a little while back when I got to go out to Lubbock, Texas, on Texas Tech's campus to a wedding, and I got to see Texas Tech's facility. I got to meet the head coach.
Yep.
I got a family member who's involved with the program, and I just wanted to share some of the same thoughts I shared with you so I can share it with some of the listeners.
I want you to share that because Cinco today, we opened the show talking about them. Go ahead.
Lubbock is in the middle of absolute nowhere. I knew that going into it. It's not near anything. And it kind of has, I think the population's actually bigger than Knoxville somehow, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's half the size of Knoxville. Everybody there is all in Texas Tech, and I don't know. I mean, there's some enormous, gigantic, rich people oil houses, but a lot of it is not, ordinary middle class kind of folks who probably work in and around the oil industry and something. But it just, I was taken aback by just how friendly everybody there was at Texas Tech, and very interesting. Their facilities are ridiculous. I hope Tennessee's football facility is half that nice. I've never been in it, but I would hope it's half that nice. It kind of feels like a place that has they've been second fiddle, probably fourth or fifth fiddle to Texas and Texas A&M. There's no talent in West Texas. There's no football talent out there. And they've just kind of lived in anonymity for a long time. They got it hot a little bit with Mike Leach for a minute or two. But when the rules have changed and players can be compensated and those people are in the middle of nowhere and they care about their school, oh, boy, they have to be one of the great winners of NIL so far, and it looks like they're destined to keep playing the game too.
And the weird thing is, they took their money and invested it in their roster, not their coaching staff. They took a high school coach, basically.
Yes, exactly
and
right.
You said in your email to me, I didn't want to give you away, and I didn't want to publish it. But you said in your email to me, "Hey, look, I got family that's on the staff, and this coach is just a down to earth, normal, non-diva guy who's a highly successful." I want you to tell the living listener about this because again, they're showing another way to skin a cat here. They're not coach worshiping there. Talk about that guy.
He was a high school coach in Texas. I don't really know a whole lot about his background.
Yeah.
When he came in, I think, I can think a lot of people kind of wondered who he was.
Yeah.
He came and actually, so the family member I've got, he's kind of a low, middle level employee of the football staff.
Sure.
And the head coach came and officiated his wedding in the middle of a field in West Texas, 30 minutes away from the campus. And we're all a bunch of nobodies. And he came there, officiated the wedding, did a phenomenal job. He kissed everybody's babies. He shook everybody's hands. He stayed for hours into the wedding just talking to people, just being a human. And, I went up to him and talked to him, and he acted like I knew him for years. So, I don't know it. They've got all the money. They got all the money in the world, and they know they're going to spend it. But they just also that area of the country. They're in the middle of nowhere. They just I don't know. They feel like authentic people out there.
See, this JB Hill guy says nobody cares about Texas Tech. You better care. Here's why. Yesterday, this Ugamaboogie guy from Wake Forest, we wanted him. He was like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on our. We wanted that guy. There's a guy out of the MAC that we were chasing. We wanted him. They got both those guys yesterday. They're getting everybody they want. You better care about them. Hey, Cinco.
Let me tell you something.
Hey, Sean. Yeah, go ahead.
They probably have more talent on their roster at this moment than Tennessee does. Probably they do.
Hey, Sean Sinclair, we better care about them. The SEC better care about them, Sean.
Well, that's one way of thinking about it. The other way of thinking about it is that you don't have to play against all those players.
Mm-hmm.
It was also very strategic on their part because they've made, the Big 12 is kind of made overture. They're a Power 4 conference.
Mm-hmm.
So Texas Tech doesn't have to compete with anybody in the SEC.
That's right.
They don't have to compete with anybody in the Big 12. They've got now Matt Campbell's left, Iowa State. They got BYU. Willingham is gone over to Michigan. So it's pretty much them and the way BYU is. Some years they're going to be good if all their missionaries come back. Some years they're not. And so it's really a very bright strategy that, hey, we're going to load up because we don't have to play those gauntlet schedules the other guys do. We'll have a game or two. It's very much like the old ACC.
Yep.
And we'll see you in the playoffs. And then, unfortunately, their offense just got snuffed. But they're going to be in and year out. So it's given that and given the investment, given the fact that they have a weak conference, given the fact that they have guaranteed tie into the playoff, I mean, they're set up almost better than Notre Dame is.
It's disgusting, really.
Yeah. I agree with you. One more point, Tony, I was going to make kind of along these lines. I feel like Texas Tech is the greatest benefactor or a beneficiary of this NIL thing for the reasons I've stated.
Yeah.
I'm starting to wonder if somebody like Georgia is not going to have the biggest detriment because for years and years and years, they've been the only power program in a heavy, heavy, heavy talent state. And mamas with their 5-star babies in Americus, Georgia, or Fitzgerald, Georgia, or Waycross, Georgia, wherever, they're going to want them to go to the home. They're going to want them to go to the home school, and that's when money, quote unquote, wasn't involved. But now that it's out in the open, and the highest bidder probably gets the best steak at the restaurant, Georgia's job just got a lot harder. They've had an easy job forever.
That's right.
Kirby Smart's job's harder than it's ever been before now.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. In fact, Sean said it earlier. All these blue blood teams for all these years, when you watched Indiana not beat Alabama, destroy them, lay them to waste, smack them down, beat them into submission the other day, officially it took about 4 years. But this thing that we thought was eventually going to happen has happened. And it's manifested itself in 2 programs right now. But they're not going to be the only 2. Indiana and Texas Tech are 2 of them, but they're not the only 2. I'd watch those, Sean was talking about, I'd watch those Mormon schools because they're spending like drunken sailors. I'd watch those Mormon schools. And there will be some others that just kind of say, you know what? I'm sick of losing. I'm a billionaire. I've had enough of it. And then some of these billionaires, maybe Mark Cuban gets bored and quits giving Indiana money. And their spigot gets shut off. And then it goes to somebody else. But you better, as a staff, you better be able to identify football players. That's what Indiana's taught me. Texas Tech's buying their players. Okay, fine. You better be able to identify, and you better damn well have a plan, or you're going to be unemployed in this thing.
Well, it's interesting you say that because they do have a plan. In this past recruiting class, they're in the top 20, which they've never been. So it's not that like they're just going portal. I mean, they are doing that, but they are doing. But here's the dichotomy there. They signed the number 1 or number 2 high school tackle in the offensive tackle to this massive deal. But you may not know this. They also signed a 6'8" offensive tackle from Alcoa. How about that?
Huh?
Now, I don't know that we ever offered him, Jacob Crow.
That's interesting.
I don't know that we ever offered him.
Yeah.
But they're reaching there. They signed one of the top edge rushers out of Georgia.
Yep.
So they obviously have a plan, and they're executing their plan.
To the phones we go. The interesting thing about what they did last year is, because I'm poking around on this, last year in the portal, look, we were right with them last year. We both had 10-2 seasons, kind of out of nowhere. We both made the playoffs. One team took the foot off the gas. One team took the gas pedal and tramped it down. We went and got Pendleton from Notre Dame. They went and got their best offensive lineman and built their team around that lineman this year. And it worked out for them. I'm talking about Indiana now. It worked out for them. And then Ravano Freeze threw back Mendoza because he got, and by the way, he got real big-eyed when the kid from Oklahoma became available to him. Hey, I can fix him. You know where that kid just signed? Did you guys see this? The 5-star kid from
UNLV.
UNLV. That's where that kid is. Let's go to the phones. I mean, it's crazy. See, they got a little lucky, too, in there. You got to get a little lucky. Our coach could get lucky here. I'm trying to let people know this. Just because you don't get a shiny object, you might get a 3-star guy. You might get this Chambliss guy. The Vols might get a quarterback at the very end of this thing, and he is literally in New York next year. That could happen. I mean, anything can happen in this thing. So keep your eyes open here and keep your minds open. More important than that. We're not going to know till next fall what kind of football team you have. Hi, welcome into our next caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. This past season, or the season right now, this is the worst Texas Tech's going to be for the foreseeable future. Like, they're spending money everywhere. High school, portal, doesn't matter.
It's crazy.
They're playing for keeps. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the worst they're going to be. Mm-hmm. I don't get why you're going to drop $5 million on Sam Levitt, man. Here's what it is. These coaches think they saw Mendoza go to Indiana, and they think they can recreate it. Well, these guys aren't Mendoza, and Mendoza was getting $2.5 million. Got $2.5 million at Indiana, not $5. For $5 million, you can get 3 impactful defensive players. What are we doing? Please tell me that he's not. They're not going to get him. They're not going to spend $5 million on that guy. Please.
You with the concept? Cinco's not with the concept either.
I mean,
on Levitt, when you have as many needs, Sean, we were talking about it off the air on defense. How many needs we have on defense? Elaborate for the living listener, just what it looks like, Sean. How paltry it is right now.
Okay, if you just this is not my opinion. Just go look at it. It's very simple. Go look at the roster that's coming back, and then go look at the signing class. Put those on paper. You have roughly 17, 18 defensive linemen in the defensive line class our defensive room right now. And your upperclassmen are Nathan Robinson, who's a backup, Tyree Weathersby, who had promised, then he got a hip injury and he's barely showed up.
Yeah.
And David Hobbs, a senior, who's been injury kind of riddled, obviously talented kid. If he gets it together, probably have pro aspirations. And that's it. That's all you got. And you got a bunch of freshmen, redshirt freshmen, and sophomores. When you go to the defensive backfield, and a lot of these guys are highly rated, and you go to the defensive backfield, it's very much the same. You've got your only upperclassmen are Caleb Beasley, Idris Farouk, and that's it. You got Tyler Redmond, who looks like a fantastic prospect. But other than that, you got a bunch of, no disrespect, you got a bunch of 3-star guys that Willie Martinez and Tim Banks profiled, that they thought, we want 6-foot guys that are 170 pounds. We'll bulk them up. They'll have long arms and they can run, and we'll see if we can make them players. And aside from the Gibson kid, and I guess Jordan Matthews went to Vandy and beat us, but that's about it. Because everything else that's been doing anything has been respectfully a transfer.
And the 2 defensive ends that hit.
And those In those two layers, you have a ton of money and chairs, committed to kids that haven't played very much and are very small. And now you got a brand new coaching staff, you got a brand new strength and conditioning staff.
Yes.
And again, you've got to, if you're not careful, your name turns into quickly Josh Napier, because that's what you're looking at next year.
And so, we have to ask ourselves, Columbo, and it's a great conversation. Are you better off taking your money and getting 4 or 5 of those Penn State players and plugging them into
My read on it is he's using LSU and Tennessee for leverage to get his money up at Ohio State. They whiffed on him out of high school, and he's going to make him grovel. Now, does that mean we don't throw him an over-the-top bag and get him? Certainly possible. But they were basically recruiting that kid on the field after the Penn State game this year. He's an Ohio kid, and that's a big need for them. They did sign a kid from UCF as a defensive end. But like I said, more than one defensive end plays at a time, so it's not like they don't have room for him. And the Ohio State people are going to lose their minds if they don't land Chaz Coleman. They're already getting a little mad at Day. They're going to get really mad if they don't land him. So I think it's an uphill battle for us. Just my read on it. Not trying to be a pessimist, but my read on it is that he's using Tennessee and LSU for leverage to get his money up. But, and one more thing on that front. I don't think it's set in stone that Patricia's back there next year. They will do all they can to keep him, but the NFL is going to call for him to come back.
Yeah.
And it kind of depends on what he wants to do. But they're going to give him $3 million a year for 3 years if he asks for it. But keep in mind that defense loses Caleb Downs, loses Sonny Styles, loses Darvell Reese. They lose 4 first-rounders. So, I'm not trying to be pessimistic, and I'm hopeful that if we get Chaz Coleman, then I'll be thrilled to death. But I do not want to give Sam Levitt money to not get Chaz Coleman, if that makes sense. That's just insane to me.
Yeah, I would overpay. If I'm Tennessee and you gave me a choice, you can
overpay. That kid's a stud, man.
I overpay that Chaz Coleman
guy. And you get him for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. You get it. He's only be a sophomore.
Yeah.
You'll get him for 2 years.
Yep.
Please, whatever, just do not give Sam
him.
Levitt the money for Chaz Coleman.
I agree with that.
God,
if you gave me the choice of either or, and I don't know that it's binary, but if you gave me the choice of either or, we don't have unlimited supply of money. We're not dealing with Texas Tech money here. If you gave me the choice, a 2-year stud, I'm telling you, those Penn State people were sick when he walked off their campus. Sick. And they know they're not getting him back. Sick. Because he is a future first-round draft pick. That's who this guy's going to be, with a high motor. That's a type of player that he walks on your campus, and it's immediate impact for your defense.
Immediate at a position of great need.
Yes.
And you've got to be able to rush the passer in this league. And it's not like we're talking about, an outside linebacker. No, we're talking about a game wrecker at the end.
Yes.
And, Tony, did you see that Ole Miss is going to have they're hosting Lagway on a visit, so maybe they're not totally confident that Chambliss is going to get his waiver.
Well, yeah, there's been reports that the Chambliss thing with the waiver, and it's probably not going to happen. But look, they got to see that thing through. I just think it's really interesting that Chambliss came out and said, "Look, if my waiver comes through, I'm staying here." Lane Kiffin's magic tricks.
I think he's going to end up getting it.
Yeah.
I think they're going to make him work for it. I think he's going to end up getting it, but they're covering their bases and they're bringing Lagway in for a visit.
Look, I think that's interesting. Another thing that I want your thoughts on, because you follow this Kiffin thing. What about Kiffin sitting with this guy last night at a basketball game, showing him off, and then pulling that stunt they're pulling now with Washington?
Tony, I don't get look. Let's be real. Yeah. He and Charlie Weiss Jr. are really good quarterback coaches.
Yeah.
Like, really good.
Yeah.
But, man, I don't think the Damon Williams kid is any good, man. I watched him play against Oregon, Tony, and I thought he was throwing the game. That's how bad he was. Against anybody with a pulse. Against anybody with a pulse in their schedule
coming
last year,
in hot.
He was terrible.
Colombo
He's
coming
only
in hot.
5'9". He's 5'9".
Hey, they did it with this little guy from Division II.
They did it with Chambliss, so I get it. And he's very the Williams kid's very toolsy. Like he's like Lagway.
Yep.
He's like Raiola. Like he's got a lot of ability, but like he's 5'9".
Hey, this Kiffin guy is a real piece of work. We know that now.
Man. He's desperate. He literally thought he was going to just import Ole Miss's whole roster over there and go off and running.
And he's getting nobody. Yeah, he's getting the Lacey guy said,
nobody.
Thanks, Lane.
He couldn't even get the kicker, Tony. He couldn't even get that kicker. They were trying to get that kicker $600,000. Now that kicker's good, but I mean, yeah, he can't. He's all in his feelings. Imagine if they win tomorrow night. Oh my God.
Lumbo, it's incredible. Thank you, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, Lumbo's been on. He's gone. Cinco, people are upset with you. I want you, when we continue, to unpack this, and we'll get some more calls in at 865-200-5402. Here's the deal. You mentioned something about comparing Napier and our head coach, and I want you to unpack that because people, I think, misunderstand what you're saying. If you think Sean Sinclair is comparing Billy Napier and Josh Heupel as coaches to this point in their career and success in the S, I know what he meant, but I'm going to let him explain it as we continue with more after this, because I want to pause on that, because Tennessee's schedule and what they have on their roster, if they don't add a whole lot of players between now and the next 2.5 weeks, and look, I'm going to be patient here. And again, even if they don't add what looks sufficient, we don't know if it's sufficient or not. We won't know till next fall. But one thing's for sure. We all looked, and I want Sean to elaborate on this on the other side because I think it's what he's saying. We all looked at that Florida schedule last year and we said, man, that guy's going to get fired. That guy's in big trouble down there. We all saw that coming. I think that's the point he's making, but I'm going to see if, or maybe he was comparing the two. Maybe he was comparing them. I don't know. I'm going to let Sean speak for himself, though, and we're going to do that right after this. Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
The season of giving reminds us of what truly matters, community and connection. Hi there, Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. As the year closes, I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank you, my Basilio family clients. Thank you for trusting me with your most important decisions. Whether it was finding your first home or successfully closing a chapter, your trust means everything. I look forward to new and continued relationships through the new year, and feel free to reach out to me at 865-694-5904 or nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and of course, go Vols!
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexial Kristen.
Hey Tony, good to see ya. Connexial builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the #1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexial.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexial, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local. Eat good. TB back with you. The conversation's going to continue into our overtime segment. How long that segment is going to be highly dependent on our YouTube folks. We've got well over 300 people live in YouTube, which is a huge number. But you know what? If I don't see a bunch of likes, because I was up till like the wee small hours of the morning, couldn't get to sleep after doing the basketball postgame show, even with a let's say I was wind-aided and I was still having a little trouble sleeping. So I'm really not in the mood to like hang out here and do this, but I will if I see 150 plus likes, because that's how we grow this thing. So if you help me grow, we'll stay on the air and keep doing what we're doing, because I'm going to turn it over here momentarily to William Pattison and the playbook. But I really do like to do this. Like yesterday, we did an hour and 15 minutes of overtime on a day where I knew we were going to be here for, I knew we were going to be on well past midnight. So I love doing it. And I'm kind of a sicko. And I'm kind of sick with this. But, you know,